Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Cheryl Abram, and I am Person-Centered Cyber. I'm with you all a little early today, a lot earlier than I typically am, because I have an interesting topic today, very, very interesting. And I've taken some time to do some research. I read some stuff from Twitter and LinkedIn and just online, did my own research on different things. And I found out some really interesting stuff. Okay, so as you see in the title, today I want to talk about, and I'm not going to be long. This is not going to be a long thing, okay? But it's definitely going to be something for you to think about. So apparently, ECCouncil has allegedly used and been using, allegedly, information and content that was not theirs in their blogs and other places and calling it theirs, okay? So I was like, oh, what's up with that? Like, why would an organization like ECCouncil be doing something like that? I can only imagine the talent, okay, that they have in that organization. Why in the world would they need to copy from anybody, But, it apparently is out there that that's what they're doing, allegedly. And I'm, allegedly, I have no idea. All I have is what I have in front of me and what I'm going to show to you all. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. Well, first of all, if y'all don't know who ECCouncil is, all right, they're like CompTIA or, some of these other bodies who provide certifications. Let me just show you their website, just so you can see it, in case you're not familiar with it. Okay. Okay, so this is their website. Okay, this is ECCouncil. They have a lot of, if you scroll down on the homepage, all the different certifications and classes, and they have a whole university. They're all over the world. They're on the DoD, what is that, 8170, 8450, whatever that is, that thing that, that thing that DoD has, by the various certs you need to do certain jobs with DoD. I know ECCouncil because of CEH. Okay, that's how I was introduced to them and knew who they were, because Certified Ethical Hacker, when I first started in cybersecurity, like that's all I was hearing. Hey, Professor Black Ops. I know, right? Super, super early for me. Sun's out and everything. So all I knew was Certified Ethical Hacker, right? So I knew, and right, so that's how I came to know who they were. But they do so many things, a lot of stuff. Okay, and they're, man, very expensive as well. I don't have any certs from them, none, not one, and and not really planning on getting any from them. Okay, so that's who they are. So before I show you the other tabs that I have up here, this is a red alert stream. What did you say? What do you mean? What do you mean, Professor Black Ops? How do I get off of this thing? Okay, stop sharing. All right, now let me tell you what I found about this plagiarism, this alleged plagiarism debacle. Child, if this mouse, okay, here we go. Now, let me tell you what I did. Okay, so I went and I read, whatever I could find about the plagiarism. Now, there's a lady on Twitter. Her name is Alyssa Miller. She put on Twitter that, ECCouncil has done it again. Okay, they've used content that's not theirs and claimed that it was. And that was the issue. Like, from reading it, the issue is not that ECCouncil has, is using my content. The issue is they're using it and they're claiming it's theirs. Like, I am not getting any credit, for what's clearly mine. Okay, even though they tried to dress it up a little bit. So I read all that. I posted some stuff on Twitter. I posted some things on LinkedIn, and I've been reading. So what I decided to do, and this is what I'm about to show you. what I decided to do was I'm going to show you both of their articles. I'm going to show you hers and I'm going to show you ECCouncil's. Okay, so you can see the differences and the similarities. But what I also did is I put both of the articles, I put ECCouncil's and I put hers into a plagiarism checker. Now it's something free online. This is not a scientific experiment or anything like that. Okay, I found the first free one I could find. Okay, so I used that, and the plagiarism checker. What it did was it first of all, I'm putting it in there as if I wrote it. Okay, so let's say somebody told me, "Hey Cheryl, I need you to write this article," and I'm like, "Okay, let me find." So I'm cut and paste the whole thing and just put it in there, and that's what I did. So of course, what it spit out was like, girl, go sit down somewhere. You know, you did not write this. Okay, so it gives you percentages of where the plagiarism came from. Okay, now we're going to see that because I wanted to be fair. I didn't want to just be like, oh yeah, you know, ECCouncil, it reads just like hers. They did this, whatever. So I wanted to use kind of like a neutral tool, you know, to do that. So first, let me show you her article, and then let me show you ECCouncil's article. Okay, so you can see for yourself. We're gonna go to the thing over here. Again, her name is Alyssa Miller. You can find her on Twitter. All right. Now the article is about BISOs, Business Information Security Officers. Now this is a very good article. Like I read the article, it's amazing. I first heard of BISOs when I was working with Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips contributed to the last SSCP. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's SSCP. He contributed to that. So, you know, I assisted him with that, and that's the first place that I saw this. So, Business Information Security Officer. So this is her article, okay? Why do organizations have BISOs? What are the qualities of a good BISO? You know, broad security knowledge, executive presence, influencer leadership, strategic thinking, and then there's the end of her article, okay? Again, it's a very good article, and I will put the link to it in here in case you want to read it on your own. Now, let's look at ECCouncil's. Now, ECCouncil has taken theirs down, okay? It's not up on their website anymore, which is why we have the Wayback Machine, okay? Yes. So here's their article, okay? This is the blog. What is a Business Information Security Officer, BISO, role of the Information Security Officer? Why do organizations have BISOs? Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, go word for word, but let me show you how. So remember how she had the quality. So over here she has qualities of a good BISO. Okay, now let's just look at this. She says broad security knowledge, executive presence, influencer leadership, and strategic thinking. Now look at ECCouncil's. Comprehensive security knowledge, executive level integration, influencing the leadership, and strategic thinking. These are the same ones. Okay, they're the same ones. Now, this article was written this year. Okay, this year, March, I believe. ECCouncil wrote this. Hers, December 2020. Okay, that's when she wrote her blog post about BISOs, December 2020. All right. Now, when I did the comparison, and again, I'm gonna post the links, you can do it yourself, it's her article. Okay, you know how when you find something, okay, don't act like you didn't do it, okay? You're in a rush, you're trying to find something, it needs to make sense or whatever, but you know you cannot use it word for word unless you're quoting, you know, you're quoting the person or whatever. So they got a plethora of tools online, you know, to help you change stuff just enough so it doesn't look like you plagiarized, you know. So from what I saw, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. It looks allegedly that you know, ECCouncil used her information. That's what it looked like to me. But like I said, I don't want to be just, that's very subjective. Okay. Plus, I've already been influenced by people on Twitter and all this, you know. So I'm like, well, let me use a neutral tool. Okay. So let me show you what I got with the tool. ECCouncil also has a gender scandal too, sexist and pandering to women in cybersecurity. They pander to women? Really? Wow, that's shocking. Normally it's the other way around. So I also have, did I put it up here? There's another person who ooh, Lord, my allergies are acting up. I think, now that you say that, Professor Black Ops, there's another person who talked about that too. And he has a link of a whole bunch of ECCouncil issues. Let me pull it up right here. It's got to be right down here in my bookmarks. In my security, look at the security bookmarks right here. It's down here somewhere. Here you go. Is this it? That's him. So this guy right here, clearly he feels like ECCouncil, you know, needs to be held accountable, and whatever they're doing, you know, it needs to be there. So see, the top story is what has just happened with Alyssa Miller here. And there's something in here about what you just mentioned, Professor Black Ops. I know I remember seeing something like that. I don't know. I'll put the link here too, for this stuff. Where did I see sexist on here somewhere? Here you go. But that's the ECCouncil blocks women in cybersecurity after sexist survey. ECCouncil ECSA certification is sexist. Oh my goodness. Now I haven't read, you know, any of these. I just know that, you know, he has this stuff here. But I'll share that link too. But let me show you what what the plagiarism tool showed me. Okay. And it was quite interesting. Okay, quite interesting. Now let me go over here to my brand overlay. So I did it with like overlays, so I didn't, you know, have to show y'all PowerPoints or anything. Now I got to work on these overlays. It's still all up in my face, but that's all right. Now the first one was funny to me. Okay, so this is a tweet. Okay, well. If it isn't ECCouncil back on their bullshit. I was giving them a second chance after their last screw up, but I guess they aren't changing. So I'm going to actively discourage my mentees from taking ECCouncil certification. So this is one of a plethora, you hear me, of tweets about this. Okay. And this is one of the cleaner ones. Okay. People are not feeling ECCouncil right now. Okay. They really are not. So now the tool, let me tell you the tool that I used. It was called plagiarismdetector.net. Free. Well, I use the free version. If you want more, if you wanted to do more stuff for you, you got to pay for it. But it's free. Plagiarismdetector.net. Again, didn't research it, don't know how accurate it is. I don't know. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. But I did want to use something other than my own, you know, subjective thought. Okay, to come up with, you know, a way to inform about what's actually happened here. All right, so that's that. Now, first I'm going to show you the result from ECCouncil. So I took the article from ECCouncil, okay, and I put it in the plagiarismdetector.net, and this is what I got. Now, this is the article over here. Of course, it's 100% plagiarized because, like I'm saying, I'm putting it in there as if I wrote it, and the detector was like, girl, go sit yourself down somewhere. You did not write this. Okay, it's 100% plagiarized, which is expected. It should have said that, okay, because I didn't write it. Now look at these percentages. Now this is telling me, and when you click on the plus, it tells you where you got that information. where you most likely got that information, that plagiarized sentence or paragraph or whatever, okay? The largest percentage here is 54%. Okay, now let me show you what that is. I'm gonna show you what all the percentages are, but let me just show you, show you what the largest one is. It's ECCouncil. Okay, let me get over here. It's their blog, which it should have been, because I got it from their blog. Okay, so the plagiarism detector is saying, Cheryl, you got this information from ECCouncil's blog. All right, okay, I'm good. But I'm like, all right, but where the rest of it come from? Okay, because I got a whole 26% here, okay, that is not from their blog. So where did it come from? Well, let me show you. I'll show you where it comes from right here. All those other percentages. So a little over 50%, the plagiarism tool is telling me this is ECCouncil stuff. They made it, it's theirs, you plagiarized. Okay. But the other stuff ain't theirs. Who's it for? These 3 websites is this is what the plagiarism tool is telling me. Okay, this is not Cheryl. The plagiarism tool is saying, Cheryl, you got the rest of this stuff from somewhere else. 35% top5certification.com. Okay, 8% you got from digitalmunition.me. And 6%, now this was interesting, pulse.qa. Pulse.qa is like Reddit. People go in there and they ask questions about stuff. Where this link took me for this, it was people asking questions about what a BISO is, like what they feel a BISO's duties are. This tool is telling me from what you wrote, 6% of that came from that site. I said, well. well, okay. Okay, so a little over half, the tool is telling me ECCouncil did the rest of it. You got it from somewhere else. Okay, that's not yours either. All right, okay. Now let's look at Alyssas. I did the same thing, same tool, everything, okay, with Alyssas stuff. So this is her breakdown after putting everything in there. Of course, I'm putting it in there like I did it. So of course it's gonna say 100% plagiarized. You didn't do none of this, all right? 77% is the highest percentage from Alyssa's stuff, okay? And then there's other little percentages, okay? So based on what ECCouncil said, I'm expecting the 77% is gonna tell me, Cheryl, you got this from Alyssa's blog, okay? But then again, I was like, so where the rest of it come from? Okay, now let's see. I was right. The 77% is from her blog. She wrote it. Okay, the tool is telling me, Cheryl, you did not write this. Alyssa, what is it? Alyssasec.com. In an article about what is a business information security officer wrote 77% of what you put in here. Okay. But what, again, where is the rest of it from? Let me show you. It's from her. All them other percentages is still information on her blog. All of it. 100% of what I put in there comes directly from alyssasec.com. Okay. It's hers. And when you compare the article that she 100% wrote, okay, she didn't go to top 5 certs and all these other places to get content. All right, it's all hers. Now, when you look at these 2 articles, at least for me, it looks like ECCouncil used her stuff. That's allegedly what it looks like to me. And then after doing this, and seeing that not only it wasn't just her stuff. Okay, according to the tool, this is the tools, this is not Cheryl. According to the tool, it wasn't just her stuff. They used like 3 other resources and bolted it all together. Okay, because her stuff did not say top 5 certifications. Okay, it did not say, it didn't say all that. All right. So the portion, the 54%, okay, that that they say belongs to them, from what I can see, allegedly, actually does not. Right. But I'm not here to influence anybody. I'm just here to share information, share tools, show you what I found, and y'all can have your own, of course, opinions about it. But my main question though about this stuff is, like I said in the beginning, I have no doubt in my mind, not one doubt, that this international company has talented, smart, creative people. Now, unless it's a situation, and you really don't know. It could have been a situation where somebody was like, they had a deadline, or whatever the case is, and they felt like they just didn't have time to come up with an article about BSOs, okay, and just did whatever. All right. However, even if that was the case, what about all this other stuff that I've been reading about? Just reading about, I don't know if that's true either. However, when I Google ECCouncil and plagiarism and what else did I Google? ECCouncil and I don't know, controversy, something like that, right? The little Google crawlers is finding stuff, okay? And what I don't see is a response from them. That's what I don't see. That's what I look for. Like I'm like, oh, what did they say? What did they say about it? And as far this afternoon, when I read Alyssas tweet, she said that she contacted them, and because they took it down. I have to use the Wayback Machine to find to get to the article. They took it down. She said the president or CEO, whoever over there, said we're looking into it. So whatever that means. But Alyssa, the thing that caught my eye too, right, is when Alyssa was like, where's their original thought? Why do you have to reach out to see? And you the one, they got a whole training on this, ECCouncil. They got a whole university, okay, on this, which is even stranger. So it's not like it's another random person out there just looking for content and found something and plagiarized. This is a whole company with child researcher, all kind of stuff at their disposal. It's just weird. It's very weird. It's really weird, and I don't get it. I don't understand that. But some people on Twitter were like, well, DOD needs to be looking in this direction. Okay, now when you start to say stuff like that, and it looks like you're going in people's pockets, maybe somebody will get a response. Okay, because how are you going to have a whole course, popular all over the damn globe, with the word ethics in it, and then be around here, showing your tail like that? Does that make any sense? Not to me. Like, ethics where? Who teaching that ethics class? Okay. And again, I don't know how the article got out there, like whatever. But again, the fact that it's out there and that you're using people's content, like people do that all the time, but you credit the person, you say, and they'll even tell you, like the stuff that I use when I do the courses, like the pictures and the videos and all that stuff, you can go right there to, Creative Commons has a lot of stuff on there. All they ask is that give me some credit. Like, can you, and some of them don't even say that. They're like, consider, like if you want to type thing, if the spirit moves you, go ahead and say I did it, type thing. So it's even loosey-goosey, regardless. So it ain't like you don't have stuff out there that people are literally giving away, like literally giving away, and who wouldn't you know, to just reach out to somebody and say, hey, y'all want to write an article for us? You know, and we'll put your name on it. I mean, there's just so many things, so many options that don't include plagiarizing, you know, and using people's stuff without giving them credit. So many amazing options that don't include that, you know. So I don't know. I do not know. So that's what I got. That's what I got for y'all. I told you that the next time when I come back, and I will, because I got it on this screen right here. I just gotta, like, you know, clean it up a little bit so it's pretty. So I'm gonna get my StreamYard life together and get these things to pop up so they're not all up in my face, you know, while I'm trying to talk. And I'm gonna get these it's called UDB. You probably heard of it, Professor Black Ops. Understanding by Design. Which was like, I forgot when it started, but it's like some kind of movement where this individual, he created a whole university to help teachers put curricula together, okay? Because the curricula was just, it was boring and it was not useful. Students really weren't learning, okay? They felt like they were forced to sit there and listen because they had to be in school. And so, you know, and teachers, like people who really love teaching, like they want learners to enjoy learning, but like they really do. They want them to enjoy it, you know? But these teachers, like they didn't know like how to do that. Cause you know, you get curricula from the state or from whom, or the county or whomever, you know, and it's just like, you know, go over this, 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 and this. And it's just, you know, it was terrible. So understanding by design is the process that this person, and I'm gonna have all that information for y'all later, whoever he is. And he has a whole school too, I believe, you know, where he teaches that. And I was listening to a physics teacher who went and he took the training, he stayed there and all that. And I even I've written goals and you know, things like that over here based on that. And when he finished describing what that physics course was going to be about, okay, I wanted to take that damn course. You know, I really did. We had this guy. Imagine going to a presentation called the Constitution. When I say that, you can almost feel the sorrow. It's 2 hours. Okay. I mean, you can feel like a whole wall of grief. Like the what? I gotta sit through for who? Constitution. That's what we had to do. Like 2 years ago, I went to a 1-month leadership course. I saw on that schedule, that's all it was called, the Constitution. Okay, 2 hours. I'm like, girl, how can I look for all kind of ways to get out of this? Okay, I mean, I sat down grudgingly, okay, waiting to endure this 2-hour talk. By the end of that talk, like I wanted to go sit down with this guy and have dinner and keep talking about the Constitution. This man was so interesting. The way he presented, I've heard, you know, we've all had classes on the Constitution, okay? But he approached it from a way I have never heard before. The stuff he was talking about, I'd heard before. But the way he was like putting it together, I mean, it was so good. I was not the only one at the end. Like, man, like when are you coming? Like, is there a part 2? Like, can we get like a midnight screening of the Constitution? You know, it was that good. This is what old boy was trying to do with understanding by design. Okay, understanding by design, not just understanding, but when people you pay attention when you feel like what's being said has something to do with you, okay? Or something to do with what you're trying to accomplish. You know, it's got something to do with you, all right? For 2 hours, that man talked about something that impacted me directly, that has something to do with me, okay? I wasn't, I wasn't tired. I wasn't nodding off. I tried to hurry up, go to the bathroom for a 5-minute break because I had to get back. Who does that? Where does that happen? How many trainings have you been to, okay, where you are like, you know what, I'm shutting this phone off. I don't want to be disturbed. I don't even want to go to the bathroom. Oh, all right. I mean, can we have 2 more hours of this? Okay. Very few, I'm sure. Very few. You may have said that at the movies or sitting down with your friends at your house or whatever, because you're enjoying yourself, Never had I ever experienced that in a course, ever. And it wasn't even a course. It was just him talking about the thing, right? We have no test or nothing like that. But it was crazy. Okay. I wish I'm gonna see if I could probably find his name. I'm gonna find his name. Okay. He was a Black man. He taught now this was in Charlottesville. This is where I went to training. What's that college in Charlottesville, Virginia? It was right there next to it. Is it UVA? I don't know, something. But he taught over there. I think there's like two big colleges down there in Charlottesville or close to it or something. I'm telling you. I mean, I wish they would have taped it or something, because I know y'all don't believe me. Like the Constitution, girl, please. I'm telling you. I promise. I promise. It was absolutely outstanding. And what he did is what I'm going to show you in this thing right here, because this is what I'm looking to do. It's not about entertaining people. Like, he didn't come there to entertain us. He really didn't. He came there to share his experience because he, like, learning the Constitution and stuff like that, that was his, like, he loved that. Like, that's what he did. That was his job, to delve into the history of all these different parts and pieces and talk about like what he found and how he found that out and what this actually means. But before we'd heard this, but that wasn't the whole story. That's all he was doing. He was up there talking about how much he enjoyed researching about the Constitution and some of the most interesting things that he found out. He wasn't trying to teach nobody anything. Okay. The intent was not to teach. The intent was to share. But a byproduct of that was learning. Okay. Learning and engagement and enjoyment and like wanting more and asking questions. And, 2 years later, talking about the thing, that's the byproduct of him just sharing what he was doing and how much he loved it and what he wanted, other people to know about this thing, that he felt was really exciting and important and relevant and all that. Okay. Understanding it's not rocket science. Okay. They got steps and all that, but it's not rocket science. Okay. It's not. Just think about how you talk to people you enjoy talking to. Think about when somebody's talking to you and you're like, man, just hanging on every word. You want to hear the next thing, whether it's a Marvel movie or whatever. Okay. Just that's all. Just think about that. I know my public speaking coach, one of the things he had me do was just to look up famous speakers. Okay. It don't matter who it is, like whatever. And he said, just come back to me and go on YouTube or wherever, and find people who you feel like were influential, like good speakers. Okay. And now let's think and talk about what they did. And how do you know, that they were good? Because you can be a speaker, like you speak very well, very articulate. You project your voice, you have presence and all that wonderful stuff. People listen to you, and when it's over, it's over. It's over, it's over. Then you have those speakers who compel you to do something. That's what this guy was like, without even trying. They compel you to take some kind of an action. They don't even tell you to take an action. They don't ask you to take an action. They just make you want to do something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those kind of speakers. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Influencers, and you ain't even trying. Okay. You're not even trying. You're not trying. All you're doing is sharing, like, all of you, which is how I define leadership. You're a leader if you bring all of your authentic self to a situation. Now you're a leader. Okay. That makes a leader. Bringing all of you authentically into every situation. That's it. Okay. If you can't do that, then you're not leading. I don't care what your title is, how much you get paid every year, what your 401k look like, how many golden parachutes you got. If you can't do that, you ain't leading nobody. Okay. Let me get the hell up out of here. I'm starting going all off on tangents. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm putting these links in here so y'all can have them. Those 3 links. You can go compare the stuff, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see if ECCouncil responds, and what happens with Alyssa. And this thing made me want to look more into it, because I am a content creator. Like, I get her. Like, I see how she's, how she needs to say something, about this. Okay. Because it's not right. It's not right. All right. So y'all have an amazing rest of the day. Those of you who are going to be pawning the replay, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you back here very soon. Y'all have a great evening. Bye-bye.